Viewers, the latest news about Ethiopia, Tigray, Amhara, and Afar region is that today in this video I will inform you about latest updates about the ongoing war on the Amhara, Afar, and Tigray border. And first of all, we will discuss the latest reports from battlefield. We'll then discuss a special report on why peace talks between Ethiopia and Tigray did not succeed. Is Tigray region behind their failure or Ethiopia? Because according to the latest reports from several reliable sources, fighting is still going on in the areas around Kobo. There have been reports from many residents that the sounds of heavy guns is constantly increasing from the sides of Kobo. While there are reports from many Tigray Defense Force and Tigray supporters that fighting on the Zobel Mountains is almost over, and the soldiers of Tigray Defense Force have taken control of the mountains around Kobo. But no official information has yet been received from the Tigray government and Tigray Defense Force Central Command. So right now we cannot confirm the reports received from Tigray and Tigray Defense Force supporters that Tigray Defense Force soldiers have taken control of the mountains on the sides of Kobo. But on the other hand, there has been panic among the people of Kobo. Because there are reports from many sources that Tigray Defense Force soldiers are moving towards Kobo, which is situated on A2 highway. And Kobo's administration has also instructed people to stay at home, which clearly shows Tigray Defense Force soldiers moving towards Kobo. And Tigray Defense Force soldiers can easily move towards Kobo if Tigray Defense Force has gained control over the Zobel Mountains. On the other hand, Tigray Defense Force soldiers can also move from these mountains toward Afar region, because these mountains are located near the Amhara, Afar, and Tigray border. On the other hand, according to reports received from Afar region, there is still fighting between Tigray Defense Force and Afar forces to achieve Yalo area of Afar region. So Tigray Defense Force faces resistance from Afar forces, and the Afar forces are also supported by the Ethiopian army. Whereas on the other hand, official representative of the government of Tigray to Europe and former state minister of foreign affairs of Ethiopia said in a statement, recent developments have started clearly revealing the intentions of the Abiy's regime on the question of peaceful resolution of its conflict with Tigray. The peace process has now failed because of Abiy's false promises and deceptive approach. The developments outlined below equivocally prove that Abiy never had a genuine interest in peace, but he has been using peace talks as a delaying tactic to buy time for another round of military offensive against Tigray Defense Force and Tigray government, which was launched on 24th August 2022. It was more than a year ago, Abiy had promised the UNSG Antonio Guterres that he would lift the siege on Tigray. Abiy broke his promise and did not stop the siege. On the promise of Abiy that the siege would be lifted, Tigray Defense Force withdrew from Afar. Abiy, for the second time, reneged on this promise. Tigray released more than 4,200 prisoners of war in response to the request of the peace envoys, particularly the African Union. And Abiy denied that the prisoners of war are his soldiers and has put those released in solitary confinement, and with the objective of facilitating humanitarian assistance, including resumption of basic services. Both sides declared cessation of hostilities in March this year. And Abe, for the fourth time, broke his word and continued the total blockage and impeded humanitarian access. In a meeting that took place in Djibouti on the 13th of June this year, in the presence of one of the key players in global politics. An agreement was reached in the following areas between both parties: put in place a system for unfettered humanitarian aid access to Tigray, including fertilizer and fuel, restart all basic services, mainly telecommunication, power, bank, and transport, in 2 weeks' time after the announcement of readiness for negotiation by the Prosperity Party. It is to be recalled that the Prosperity Party has done the announcement after a week of the Djibouti meeting. Resolve the issues surrounding Western Tigray in the context of the constitution, and Eritrean and Amhara forces will withdraw. These promises were documented by the representatives of the interlocutor that facilitated the meeting. Abe broke these promises again, and Abe requested for a security guarantee to technicians coming to Tigray to restore the basic services. Tigray gave a written assurance on 2 August 2022 to the regime via a special envoys and other member of the international community who visited Mekelle and was expecting a response from the authorities in Addis Ababa, but for yet again Abe broke his promise. The series of Abe's false promises make it abundantly clear that Abe has been using peace talks as a delaying tactic to buy time for another round of military offensive against Tigray, which it launched on 24th August 2022. Because on 15 August 2022, around 4 pm local time, the Ethiopian National Defense Force bombarded positions of the Tigray army around Dedebet, northwestern part of Tigray, for an hour with heavy artillery and tanks. And Tigray forces did not fire back. Through this bombardment, the regime in Addis Ababa has violated the mutual understanding reached on cessation of hostilities last March. Since the beginning of August, there has been heavy movement of Ethiopian soldiers, Amhara forces and Fano militias close to the borders of Tigray from its southern side. Viewers, on August 23, the Minister of Defense declared that it banned reporting on fighting. The ministry made it public that it gave permissions only to some media to cover news of developments in its army. This clearly shows Abe was preparing for another round of fighting, and on 24th of August, 5 am local time, Abe launched a large-scale offensive in the southern part of Tigray, further violating the agreed cessation of hostilities. Abe is attacking Tigray at this time because he thinks the blockage has disturbed and weakened the people to the extent they cannot defend themselves. So viewers, so far the latest update about Ethiopia, Tigray and Afar. For more latest update, please subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching.